Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our 12th edition of Terrell Edwards Live. And I have got some power women in the room today with me. Well, not actually in the room, they're in their own rooms. But let me introduce to you some good friends of mine. Laurie Reamer.
Hey, all.
Hey, Laurie. Marianne Kuebler.
Hi, everybody.
Bean. We'll just call her Bean.
Hi.
And Trena McIntyre. How you doing, Trena?
Hi, guys.
I've asked these ladies to join me today because we're going to talk about their industries. I know enough about the four of them to know that they are the leaders, some of the leaders in their industry. We want to talk to them about how they got there and what they're doing in this challenging time. So, you ladies mind sharing some of your trade secrets?
That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, right on. So, you know what, Bean? Why don't we start with you because I like pink. You got on the pink shirt. Why don't we just start with you? And ladies, I'm going to ask you to join me in a few minutes. I'm going to send you backstage, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, we'll see you in a minute. So Bean, here, I want to make sure I got this right because you are the co-founder of ReYu. Is it ReYu?
ReYu.
ReYu.
Yep.
Paralysis Recovery Center.
Yes.
That's right. And I know this firsthand that you are also the recipient of a Women of Vision Award. Was that 2019?
2019. Yeah.
Man, you know what? That's we need some clapping.
Thank you.
And that award right now, just so you know, it still reigns because there was no Women of Vision 2020. So you're going to be the reigning champion for another year. Think about that.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So Bean, man, I've often told you we got to get together. I just love your story from what I know about you. I just thought you were a fantastic person. And I'd just like to hear a little bit about how you got into this industry and a little bit about your organization.
Okay, sure. Well, how I got into this industry was by getting paralyzed. And so I use a wheelchair, and that was step one in the process.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of, dove head first. Your life gets flipped upside down, and it happened by a virus. Sorry, I guess I should go back a little bit. I was paralyzed by a virus that attacked my spinal cord while I was in Las Vegas on vacation, and it was Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And it was actually just this past Monday was my 8-year rebirth day. So it's been a crazy week. But yeah, so, you get paralyzed, your life flips upside down, you go through this very traumatic event. I went through a deep, dark depression and, lost my self-identity and stuff. But, once I started working out and doing activity-based training after I went to a place in California, I really started to see a lot of recovery happen. And so I went gung-ho and I found a kinesiology student here from the U of A to help me with my home program. And this is something that she's wanted to do her whole life, but she didn't know she could do it in Canada. And so at that point, I wasn't in the right headspace to open a center or anything, but we had always talked about opening a center here. Because while I was in California, I met a bunch of people who bought houses in California so that they could go do the therapy there. So there's definitely a need here. And so it was in 2016 that Nancy was actually supposed to go to Florida for a full-time job. And I didn't want her to go. I was like, no, I need you more. And so she's like, okay, well, if I'm going to stay, then we have to do something worthwhile. So that was when the universe was like, okay, you're ready. So the doors just opened, and by April of 2017, ReYu Paralysis Recovery Center was up and running, and it's been a crazy whirlwind ever since. And we've just been thriving and have exploded, and we have almost 160 clients. Before COVID, we were at 8 staff members. Now we're back down to a few less, but it's amazing, and I absolutely did not think that this is where my life would be, but here we are.
Well, that's amazing. Speaking of amazing, I found some pretty amazing pictures. Let's just go through those, and we'll just talk as we go. And
sure.
I grabbed that one from. I hope you don't mind. I grabbed that one straight off of your IG, and I just said, wow, well, she's doing her thing, putting together some video for us to work along with you. And who's that? Right? Who's that with you?
So that's Nancy. She's my business partner / trainer / friend. And this is what we started a podcast during COVID because we had, we had lots to do, but that was when we thought that would be a good time. And so it's called Rambling with ReYu. It's on anywhere you listen to podcasts, and we talk about neuro recovery.
Okay, look at that. You guys are doing some charity stuff too, huh? What's that? What do you got there?
Yeah, well, ReYu is a nonprofit, and so fundraising is a big part of our revenue stream. And our 5-kilometer walk, run, and roll is one of our biggest events of the year. And so this year we thought we had to cancel it, but we were able to make it a virtual event, and it's this coming Saturday.
Oh, awesome. Now, that's the one of my favorites there. I got this saying that teamwork makes the dream work, and if you don't mind, I might borrow that picture.
Yeah, totally. We love cheese, so we're like, find the cheesiest poses that we can do with 8 people. And let's do it as cheesy as you can be. And so our team is always down.
I love cheese. All right, so you know what? I want to ask a couple other things. Give me a little bit more information about neuro rehabilitation. What is that about, actually?
So it's, your nervous system, right? We have the central nervous system and we have the peripheral nervous system. Mm-hmm. And they're both quite different. So the central nervous system is your brain and your spinal cord. And up until very recently, the thought process has always been that if you damage your brain or your spinal cord, whatever you got is what you got, and you're not going to get anything back. But it's 100% false. There's lots of studies done that show neural recovery is possible. I mean, neuroplasticity is learning, right? So, I mean, if you can learn, then you can also learn how to reconnect to your body. And I mean, every person is different, every injury is different, and we don't know what somebody can get back. But if you first of all, if you believe in them, and then you give them the support and the tools that they need to really rethink about how they move and how they live, right? As an able-bodied person, like, you don't think about moving your body when you're walking, right? You just do it. And so, because as toddlers, that's what our nervous system is like, rewiring itself and really figuring things out. And when you, as an adult, you lose that, right? And if you have a damaged spinal cord or a brain, there's a lot of interruptions. And so by using precise cueing, we use activity-based training or activity-based therapy at ReYu, or locomotor training, which is where we suspend somebody over a treadmill in a harness and we walk their legs for them. Because and while they're walking their legs, you have to swing your arm in opposite motion of your legs, because that activates the central pattern generators that are in your spinal cord that are the reason able-bodied people can walk without thinking. So there's a lot of science behind it. It's very complex, but basically you have to think about each movement as it happens. And you keep thinking about it, and over thousands of repetitions, that's when your brain and body will be like, oh, now we speak the same language.
Sounds a lot like when I was trying to learn how to play the guitar. So and piano. So I totally understand that. Well, I never thought about it as a therapy, but man, you have really piqued my interest. And I also noticed that you got some other programs like Thera Suit training. Is that right? Did I pronounce that right? Yeah,
you did. Yeah, it's an amazing thing that what the Thera Suit can do. So it was actually developed by 2 physiotherapists, a husband and a wife. Their daughter was born with severe cerebral palsy. And so they did everything that they could do for her, and she was still nonverbal and just not where they wanted her to be. And so they invented the Thera Suit. And what it is just a vest, shorts, a head cap, elbow pads, knee pads, and shoes. And it's just made out of cotton, and then there's plastic hooks on them. And then you use these bungee cords to kind of help the client find the muscles that they're kind of missing. Right. So if you have somebody who's like really curled in, and you want to give them extra back muscles to help them straighten out. If you have somebody who's very spastic, you want to help them give more abdominal muscles so that they can curl into, like, appropriate posture. It's really cool what it does. It reorganizes the nervous system, and in little kids, the results we see is astronomical, man. Like, it's crazy. One of our little girls, she took her first steps in the Thera Suit at ReYu, and was told she's never going to walk. Her mom was told she's never going to walk, right? Some of these kids are told they're never going to sit up, and they're never going to, you know, roll over. You're never going to interact with their environment and stuff. But there's a lot of things that are that we offer as part of the Thera Suit with reflex integration as well, and with the activity-based training. It's a whole gamut of things because there's so much involved, especially with cerebral palsy, where it's a brain injury, right? There's, especially in kids, because everything is just forming and developing and changing so quickly. So, but they also have the best potential to recover because everything is changing so quickly.
Wow.
Cool.
Bean, I'm telling you, you know what? We don't have enough time to talk about air. You're just blowing my head up now with knowledge. I really appreciate you sharing that. I also saw that you got adaptive boxing. You know, a lot of things I want to talk to you. I love that, man. So, you know, but how can we find you and your team? Where do we go? IG or Facebook? Where would you like to?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest place is our website, which is reyu.ca, REYU.ca, and then all of our social media is linked through there. Or on Instagram, we're ReYu PRC, and on Facebook, it's ReYu Paralysis Recovery Center. We also have a YouTube channel where we've put a lot of like fun videos, just random things that Nancy and I have done. We haven't done a video in a long time, but we have some fun stuff up there. And yeah, but the easiest way is through our website. You can contact us through there as well. And if you would like to donate, you can donate through there as well. And there's still time to register for our run for this weekend.
All right. And if we want to do some adaptive boxing, we can do it right here.
Running, yeah. Once we can have group programs, then yeah, anybody's welcome.
All right. All right. Bean, Gill, love you, girl. And you know what? If you don't mind sticking around, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to invite another friend of mine. She's out in LA right now, but she's going to join us. Her name is Laurie Reamer. Come on, join us, Laurie. How are you?
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, and
Hi.
I'd like to introduce you to my friend Bean there. Bean is,
Hi, Bean.
Sorry.
you may have heard she's got some connections to LA too, so we'll talk offline. All right.
Great work.
So Bean, we'll see you in a couple minutes. I got some trivia for you to join us in later, okay?
That's good.
All right, Laurie.
Hey, dude.
How are you doing?
Doing.
Laurie, I'm telling you, I mean, like I've known you at least a year and a bit. We've talked a little bit, and so when I just love your energy. I've told you that 1,000 times. And you said, man, I know I'm probably moving too fast. I'm like, no, man, I love your passion for what you do. It's just incredible. But here, let me just let people know what it is that you do. Well, she's a promoter to me. She's a promoter, and she's the owner of Music Magic, right?
Actually, we call it Magique, the French way.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. But Laurie, I mean, I did not realize that you were in the fitness industry too.
30 years.
So you got to tell me, how did you end up in the fitness industry? And then I want to double back to the promotions thing, which is the passion I know that you're about.
How long do I have? I got into fitness when I was living in New York back in the 80s and loved group fitness as a participant. And I was born to a teacher. I knew I was going to teach something, and I ended up teaching group fitness, getting certified. It wasn't enough. I started training to train instructors, which I did all over the world. And 30 years, I traveled as a fitness consultant, did some personal training as well.
That's incredible. And later on we'll show some pictures, but first I want to talk about that side of you, and then you got this promotion side. So did you have a kind of a parallel life thing going on?
Well, I've always had music in my life. I graduated with a music degree. I'm actually, by degree, I'm a music therapist.
Okay.
And so like once you have those skills, you kind of use them in life. They don't go away. They become part of who you are. And when I was in school, and for the first few years after school, I worked with many different special populations and a lot of service, basically. And then when I kind of parlayed it into group fitness, I had all my music skills. So of course, my favorite thing was to teach my music theory 101 stuff to new aspiring group exercise instructors. And so that was kind of the beginning of the merge of careers. And I started doing more music. And the last 5 years, I started doing less fitness stuff and took on creating my company after working as a booking manager, kind of a part-time thing. One of the pictures you'll see is one of the clubs I was at, and then just started going independent, working with more clubs and working with more artists, and just kind of putting my strange but creative skill set together.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Let's take a look at some of those pictures, because I know it's a pretty easy segue from fitness, and then also, but look at that, man. Like,
yeah.
you got it. Do you remember? Do you remember what you were singing that day?
Yeah, that was just last December. I was singing "Please Don't Come Home for Christmas," the Don Henley tune. Yeah. And I'm involved with and work for the Get Together Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization. And our music group, which is called the Tribe Band, does a lot of fundraising efforts for this particular organization. We raise money mostly for homeless causes and other things. And this was our Christmas show. We raised money for homelessness. Mm-hmm. And this was a smaller event, but we've put on at least 12 to 15 really great events over the last 5 years. Last year, we put on one at a big theater in downtown LA, and we had David Crosby with us, mm-hmm. and we had Al Jardine from Beach Boys with us, and Jesse Colin Young. So, like, the stars are coming out to our shows and participating, and we're raising a lot of money, and it's very cool.
Not only that, but there's a fitness picture, but it looks like a more recent fitness picture.
Well, that was just a few weeks ago.
Rob a bank, one of the two. I don't think you don't look like a bank robber, so I think you're not going to get very far on that bike either. So
yeah,
and
here we are.
Here we are.
So this is the booth at the NAMM show, which is the National Association of Music Merchants, and it takes place every year, although next year is questionable, at the Anaheim Convention Center. And this is our booth. Rock Seller magazine is an online publication, which is free. Sign up, sign up, sign up. There's great things happening with that. And we always get great people like Terrell to come by and play a little bit acoustically at our booth. Yeah. And that's Marcus Eaton over there, and Pedro Segundo, who also played.
And who is that? Who?
Well, there's your $10,000 question.
You don't know.
So I had the opportunity to meet Miss Dionne Warwick last October at an event that we actually did together. It was another function for an organization called Victoria's Voice, and the Tribe, the same group that I sing with. Mm-hmm. We did a show, actually an Elvis tribute show, and that's Elvis's Suite, which used to be the Hilton back, in the day. Yeah. And Dionne is one of the celebrity friends of the owner, David Siegel. He lost his daughter to opioid addiction, and they started this organization called Victoria's Voice. So we went and we did the after party. It was really a lot of fun, and she opened the show.
Yeah. That's awesome. You know what? I want to double back to a couple of things here. First of all, Music Magique promotions. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you got into that a little more, and then where you are with that?
Sure. I would love to. So I was doing the stuff way before I had a name for it, if that makes sense. I mean, I was always like that one that was organizing and trying to put events together, helping people put events together, coaching them, helping them do artist development. So I call my skill set things that I do on stage and off stage. So when I'm not singing or working on a production musically, working with other people's projects or creating projects for them. And so several years ago, when I kind of upped the ante with what I wanted to do, and many artists around town were just asking me, can you help me? Can you help me? Because so many people, you know, they don't want to do the business part. They don't want to do the marketing part. They don't want, now social media is so crazy now too. So I just kind of took it on and just kept going and learned as I was doing and created relationships with many clubs around the LA area. I organized some tours for people, smaller tours, and just kind of one thing leads to another, because if people like your work, essentially they'll refer you to somebody else who needs the same kind of service. So, I mean, I have a whole niche in the jazz community. I have a whole niche in the singer-songwriter community, you know, so it just kind of goes on like that. I love it.
I know you do it. It shows too. And I love what you guys doing with the tribe too.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
It all kind of works together. So, I mean,
yeah.
I really appreciate, you know, I remember having a conversation with you and one of your partners for the magazine. And you guys were talking about this food truck that you guys were.
Oh yeah, that's a Get Together Foundation that we do.
That you guys were able to purchase and just put on shows for the homeless and then pass out food. That's incredible.
Yeah, as long as we don't pass out.
Right. Yeah.
So you can tell my New York humor is still here. I've been in LA for a long time, but you know, I'm still a New Yorker at heart.
I hear you. So Laurie, I mean, like during this time now, of course, as entertainers, it's been tough for all of us, you know. Any thoughts or any ideas that you could share to some musicians out there that are just trying to just stay present? What would you say?
Sure. I mean, we are in this, whether people like it or not, whether they acknowledge it or not, it's not a choice. Mm-hmm. So you might as well just give into it. Mm-hmm. And I kind of woke up and smelled the coffee really early, like in mid-March when it was like going down. Mm-hmm. And I had so many shows on the calendar, like ready to go for all different artists, including shows that I was in. But mostly I'm concerned about these shows that I have scheduled on behalf of these artists. And we're just watching every week more of them drop off. And it's really not happening. And big name tours are canceling it. So it's just like, I realized you have to just give yourself into it and take a good look at what your skill set is. And if you can do other things, do it. I mean, I stepped up the work that I'm doing for the Get Together Foundation. And again, like I'm always looking at my little scale, you know, like this might be going down, but something else is going to come up. And it's all about balancing it and how you feel. Mm-hmm. And, you know, where you can tie it in, it's going to be online services. So in terms of musicians, like if you can teach, if you can do motivational seminars, if you can be part of networks that are doing little online, you know, festival kind of things and, you know, songwriter things, whatever, spend this time to write songs, spend this time to meet new people, get out of your box. And we're all in boxes and we don't realize it, you know, and a new situation comes upon us. Let's just call it a challenge instead of something that's torturing us. Because we're in it. So we might as well live in it and bring it out to its best. So that helped me psychologically a lot. And then I got put to work on a big project, the biggest project that I've ever done in April. And I had 3 weeks to put together this massive, what we ended up calling a telethon. Mm-hmm. And we raised $125,000 for the City of Los Angeles Coronavirus Relief Fund. And it was just an experience because sometimes when you feel like I'll just do it, like, you know, go away and let me work. I'll work day and night to get it done. But we basically had about 150 submissions of different videos from artists, celebrities, actors, a magician, people who are just doing shout outs, like all kinds of people. And we called the event altogether now la.org. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is archived on there too. So for the viewers, if they want to check it out, it's all there. We cut it into 6 parts. The whole 10-hour telethon is there. And not only did I have the opportunity to produce it, put it together, put in PSAs, have some spontaneous people Skype in, such as Bernard Fowler, who sings with the Rolling Stones. I mean, it was just incredible. Like, we never knew what was going to happen. But I also got to be in the control room, in my own control room, like directing the show throughout the day. Headset, mic, little switchboards, and a person who had my back in the next room. We all had our own room. We had 5 rooms set up in Rock Cellar Studios. And I mean, talk about getting out of your comfort zone and out of your box. Like, this was thrown at me and I was like, okay, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Let's go. Let's do it. And this is just a way of being powerful. Don't second guess it. Try it. And from now until this thing is over, which is going to be a while, my advice is, in fact, keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. And when challenges come up, or when you're having a bad day, or you're, feeling bad that, oh, this would have been the day that my show, blah, 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 that's not what's happening now. Just be in today. Be in where we are today.
Yeah. Words of wisdom from Laurie Reamer, who is also, and she's also the owner of Magique Promotions.
And we should also mention hello to Amanda Campbell of the Strand, since she is the
right.
person who connected us. So I got a shout out to Amanda. Love you, girl.
My girl Amanda, boy, and Paul. Well, you know what, Laurie, I'm gonna ask you to stick around. Before you go, I'd like to introduce Mary Ann Keeper to you, because she's also in the entertainment industry.
Hey, girl.
But Mary Ann is the owner of DanceFusion Academy of Dance, and I'm gonna chat with her for a little bit. If you don't mind, just going backstage and just listening to us a little bit.
Sure thing.
All right. Hey, Mary Ann.
Hi. How are you?
Good. I've been in that room a couple times for a couple meetings.
Yeah, quite a few times. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. And this is a challenging time for all of us. We talked about that, but let's talk about some of the good times, huh?
Yeah. We've done many shows together.
Yeah. We've done a lot together, and I don't remember saying this publicly, like in this type of forum, but I just have really appreciated working with you all these years.
Well, thank you. It's been a great opportunity for the kids to perform with you and stuff. And Anne-Marie's become a real gung-ho supporter and pushing, and the kids are getting a lot of opportunities, and it's great. It's really been good.
Yeah, and so how long have you been the owner of DanceFusion Academy of Dance?
Okay, well, the studio opened in '97, and I became a part owner the second year, and I bought it outright the third. So the studio is starting its 24th year, and I've owned it officially on my own for 21, I think. Yeah, okay. A while. We're getting there.
Yeah, and dance is in your bones. I mean, you're a tap dancer, sure.
Yeah, it is in my bones, but that's not where I started. I started as a microbiologist.
That's not where you started. It's like let's see.
How did that happen? Hey,
biology, dancing, yeah. So how did that happen? Tell me.
Well, I danced as a child for a while, and then money became an issue with my parents. And my dad was a musician. He could play anything. And so he was adamant I had to learn how to play the piano. So that kind of took precedent over dance. Yeah. And I did the piano for, I think, about 10 years. And then I kind of rebelled, and I joined a pipe band as a teenager, just to shake the rafters at the house a bit, right?
Pipe band?
Yeah. Bagpipes, yeah. Just
bagpipes. Okay. All right.
Yeah, bagpipes, yeah. So, and then I went off to university, and I started taking dance classes as a young adult. And then we moved to Alberta about, how many years ago? About 35 years ago. And I started getting back into dance like full steam ahead. And I did my first tap exam in my 30s. And I just kept taking classes. And I started teaching for studios in the area, in Sherwood Park, in Edmonton. I taught classes for Edmonton School Board extension classes. And yeah, it just sort of expanded and went from there, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? The biology thing, you really got to tell me something about it. You know, I've got a daughter right now in university.
Yeah.
Like that, you know, I started with this biology thing, and I've had enough. I think I'm gonna switch. She's gonna switch and do something else, and I'm like,
It's getting out of science.
Yeah. But right now, like I was talking to you, and you said, you know, this biology experience has actually kind of helped you through some of this challenge, right?
Yeah. Well, when we had to shut down the middle of March, I was, besides having a major meltdown going, how are we going to survive this when we can't have in-studio classes? I started looking at what everybody else was doing and what AHS was suggesting that we do. And I went, okay, let's click those micro brain cells back on and let's start thinking about what we could do. So we've basically changed the studio big time. We've got the sanitation protocols. We've got the grids on the floor. Even something as simple as going to the washroom, and when you wash your hands, using the paper towel to exit the room. That's old micro stuff from when I worked in a hospital. So like all that kind of stuff, right? And we're hoping that with the in-house classes that we're offering now, by the time we get to fall, it will become second nature for the kids, and they'll just know what they can and can't do. And not just the young kids, but also our adult kids that take classes, right? It's a whole new world we're in.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got to conform because we need the arts, don't we? Like,
oh my gosh, yes, we do need the arts.
For our sanity. I actually need to get Laurie back on here because like she would say, hey, man, I'm telling you.
It's true. Just the physical activity, missing performances in theaters. My son, who got married last summer, has a dance company that's toured all over the world. He was in Edmonton last year. He choreographed for Ballet Edmonton. He's choreographed for Royal Caribbean. He's stuck. He can't do anything, right? And it's really sad. He goes, what am I going to do, right? So he was just actually part of Dancing on the Edge in Vancouver, and they did like Zoom, virtual performances. And I think that is probably what's going to help keep these performers going until things open up. And I'm hoping it won't be too long, but you know, you watch the news at night and it's scary because people are not following through with protocol and stuff. And so you keep hearing of more cases and these big blow-ups of COVID, and you kind of go, oh gosh, you guys, we take one step forward and then we take 4 back. And that's kind of frustrating, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and that's why, you know, during this time, you guys you're kind of conforming and you're coming up with new ways to offer you know, some dance classes. I mean, it just helps us maintain our sanity, I believe.
I hope so.
Some of your dancers, I am proud to say, kind of grew up in your organization.
Yeah, they did. From the time they were 3, 4, 5. Yeah, very young.
And a couple of them are actually interning with my organization now. So it's good to be able to have spent that much time with them, with what you've done, and kind of pass the torch over. What we're doing. So thanks for everything you're doing, Shay. I'm a fan of Shay's, you know that, and I'm a fan of yours.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. We're gonna continue on because we got one more guest here,
right?
And I want to introduce you to this talented young lady. Her name is Trena McIntyre. And Trena, if you can just hang right there, I just want to flip through and show some pictures, some of Marianne's pictures. Marianne, why don't you just flip? Daryl, why don't we just flip through these real quick? Look at me.
So that's me. We had some masks made with the DanceFusion logo on. So that's me just modeling one of our masks.
Yeah, and that's the studio there. There's
my son. That was his wedding last June.
Okay.
And I think there might be a picture. That's me with my granddaughter. She's the only grandchild we have. And so she's getting spoiled right now, big time. Love her to death, right?
Oh yeah, well that's what God gave us those grandchildren for. I don't have it yet, but that's what I hear anyway.
And this is, I believe this is Night of Motown that we did with you in March, just before everything shut down.
Just before it shut down, and we had a packed house, as a 2,000 seater there, and look at the dancers we had on stage for that number. That was a good time. That was a good way to end it if we were going to end it for the year.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Marianne, you know I do that all the time. Marianne, we'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Trena,
No worries.
Trena, Marianne, Trena, and Trena. Trena, are you a realtor for TD Canada Trust?
I'm a mortgage specialist for TD Canada Trust.
Okay, so for those of us that really don't know the difference, what is the mortgage specialist does what, and the realtor then does what, or is it the realtor and the mortgage specialist?
So the realtor sells the property,
mm-hmm.
and then they refer their clients on to me. So I do the financing, provide the mortgage for the clients that are moving into their properties.
Oh, okay. And yeah, this has got to be even a tough time for the real estate industry, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like when COVID kicked in March, it was a little scary. I wasn't really sure what was going to happen in our industry. So me being a commission-based person, I didn't know what was going to happen to my income. So I was a little nervous, and I had some ideas of what I thought was really important for people in general and myself. And to my surprise, to be honest, my business picked up. I've never been so busy, partly to do with the fact that we've had to change our process. We can't meet clients face to face. We're doing everything through e-signing, and so everything's electronically signed. So my process that I had to do previously was half of what I do now. So that's picked up my work schedule. However, my client base has increased as well. So like my business right now is up, I think it's about 36, 37% from where I was last year at this time. And I'm predicting I'm going to have my best year yet.
Wow.
So it wasn't really what I expected. I had big goals for myself this year. And I really thought that, what the heck, I set these goals. I'm like, it's going to be my best year yet. And then COVID kicks in. Now what? So to my surprise, I put my assistant on hold. I really wasn't sure, if I wanted to put that expense in anymore. I thought, well, for now, we're just going to put you on hold. The bank was amazing with her. They kept her on payroll, and they started to pay her when I couldn't. So that was amazing that TD really stepped in and helped us out that way. So the best part is that my business just kept picking up. So I got to bring her back on to work with me, which, without her, I'd lose business. I wouldn't follow up with my clients properly. So I'm very grateful that I have her on my side every day. And she's my sister, and like literally my sister. Yeah. So I've had 2 assistants in my career, and both of them have been my sisters. So my first assistant was my twin sister, and now my second assistant is my other sister.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. So she works really closely with me, and she, we just keep the momentum going, and we try and think of things to do that aren't inside of our box like we used to do. So I haven't printed a piece of paper in like probably 3 months. And I used to have stacks like this, like files, like it would be a book, and I would carry that with me everywhere I went. And now I don't have 1 stitch of paper per client. Everything is done, in a file stored on my computer. And it's just amazing. Like I've completely shifted my business. Like the way I run my business is completely different than I was doing in February, March.
It's interesting. That's an encouraging thing, especially for people that are probably watching that are in your industry, because there's a lot of doom and gloom around this whole year because of the challenges we've had.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thanks for sharing that. But I also hear that there's you got some other things that you really enjoy, and I got some pictures to prove it.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's pop on one of those pictures. And I can't see where you are. You probably do.
Yeah, I'm in the back on the far left side.
And so you're a hockey enthusiast, huh?
Well, so
There we
my
go.
44th year, my realtor friend Trena Hodges, and she's beside me on the other side,
Trena.
on the right side of me. She decided that she didn't want to try out for her own hockey team, so she created her own team. So
Okay.
she would come to me in the office like, sign up for my team. And I said, no, I can't do that. I can't skate. I'm horrible. I just can't do it. So she'd come back to the office the next day and she's like, no, you're going to sign up. And so I said, I'll think about it. So I kept saying, I'll think about it. So the day I decided that, nope, not doing it, she comes in and she's like, oh, I signed you up. You're playing hockey with me. So I decided, okay, you know what, whatever, I'm going to do this. So I went out, bought all brand new equipment, and I thought, I sure hope I'm going to enjoy this. So I started playing hockey when I was in my mid 40s, 44. I started playing hockey. My jersey number is 44, so I won't forget how old I was when I started playing. So it's been such a good learning experience. I've met such amazing women on that team. And honestly, probably half our team going in had never played hockey.
Oh, okay.
We were a brand new team. We all started taking power skating and practicing. And so we went from the bottom in the league the first year to last year. I think we were about third or fourth from the bottom. So we really did improve. So that was really cool.
You picked it up. Sweet. Well, let's look at the next one. But Trena Hodge just sold me my house.
Yeah, did she?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing. I learned a lot from that woman. She is one of the strongest women that I know, and I learn a lot from her daily. Like, she's unreal.
Awesome. Who are these lovely ladies here?
So these are my daughters. Ashley is on the right, and my daughter Haley is in the middle. This was Haley's grad photos 2 years ago. So she graduated high school 2 years ago, and then so this was her grad photos that we did as a family. And then my daughter Ashley there on the right, she was supposed to get married in November in Cabo, but we've had to put that on hold. So
that wasn't 3 daughters. That was one of those. Was you?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, one was me.
Holy smokes. Okay, well, great. And
yeah.
Look at that. That's a great picture.
Yeah, I love that picture.
All right. And does this look like what are you guys doing?
Yeah, so I'm a runner. I love to run. I've done many marathons, half marathons. My girlfriends and I every year go out to Banff and do the Melissa's run. So it's been our religious tradition every year. So we when we check out on Sunday, we rebook for the next year and we go do the half marathon of Melissa's every September. So not sure it's happening this year because it's not been announced if it's canceled yet, but I suspect it will be. But either way, we're going to do our own run or hike or something this fall. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So another athlete on our panel.
Keeps you healthy.
Yeah. Well, so Trena, how we're going to ask the other ladies that I didn't, but how can we find you if we need your help?
Well, if you Google me even on Google, I think I'm the first person that pops up. If you Google Trena McIntyre, it comes up TD Canada Trust Mortgage Specialist. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to honestly just Google me and you'll find me right away.
Buyer's market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask the other ladies to join us too.
Yeah. And
I want to prepare for something really special. Yeah, everybody's there.
Yep.
Man, I'm not worthy. All this power, all the smokes, I'm not worthy. But ladies, I'd like to thank you all for sharing your wisdom in your industry. You're definitely a testament to everyone that's involved in your industries, and I've learned a lot here. But I know you're smart, but I just want to see how smart you are. So I've got a little trivia game I'd like to share with you. And ladies, it's game time! All right, this is the moment of truth. And then and in this moment of truth, I'm going to ask my faithful intern and assistant, Olivia, to join us. There she is. Olivia, how are you?
I was muted.
Yeah,
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're looking great.
Thank you. It's the golden hour.
Oh,
It's making me look good.
well, yeah, I get it. That was a good one. I like that one. So why don't you go ahead and tell these ladies how to play the game?
Yeah, for sure. So Terrell is going to ask you guys music trivia questions. You have to be the first to buzz in with your noisemaker in order to answer the question. Terrell will spin a wheel to determine the amount of points to win for that round. If your answer to the question is correct, you win the points. But if it's incorrect, the second person to buzz in has a chance of stealing the points if their answer is correct.
All right, you guys got that?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I saw those noisemakers, and just so you know, if you hold it up high when you're ready to answer, then if there's a tie, we know it'll help us decide who got in there first. Okay, Olivia, thanks so much as always. Love seeing you.
Thank you.
See you in a bit. All right, ladies. As Olivia mentioned, this is Olivia. We call this the Wheel of Wisdom. That's right, the Wheel of Wisdom. And you guys have an opportunity just to show us how much you know about the music of our time. All right, so here we go. The first question is going to be worth whatever we spin the wheel on, and I'll go ahead and ask you the question. But let's first, Daryl, why don't you spin that wheel? There we go. 300 points. What? Wait a minute. Oh, 400 points. Okay. The wheel needs some ball bearings. All right. So here. Question number one. These aren't your average music questions, just so you know. So be prepared. All right. Question number one. What musician was deported from Japan in the 1980s for possession of marijuana? Was it A, Paul McCartney, B, Lenny Kravitz, or C, Snoop Dogg? Marianne.
Paul McCartney.
She's right. She's right. I would have never gotten that. It was Paul McCartney. Marianne's up with 400 points. Ladies, all hope is not lost. We've got a couple more here. Get those noisemakers ready. You ready? Question number two. Let's spin the wheel. Oh. 900 points here. 900 points on the board for question number two. And the question reads like this. Which singer is godmother to Elton John's two sons? Is it A, Barbra Streisand, B, Ariana Grande, or C, Lady Gaga? Well, I think Trena just squeaked out just ahead of you, Marianne. Trena, what do you got?
I would say Barbra Streisand.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is wrong. Okay.
Oh.
Marianne, your turn. What do you got?
Lady Gaga.
She's right. Lady Gaga. Holy smokes. Marianne is burning up.
Killing it.
The Wheel of Wisdom is being burned by Marianne. All right, ladies. Lauri.
I'm here.
Trena. You got to catch up. I have faith in all of you. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to sweeten the pot a little bit. Number three, the third question is a double bonus round question. So when we spin this wheel, it's twice the amount of points. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see what we got here. I got to tell you, I got a secret weapon. His name is Brad Pitt. He spins this wheel for me. Nobody spins this wheel like Brad. I'm going to ask Brad to come on here later. There it is. 550 points. 550 points. That means there's 1,100 points on the board. And here's the question. You ready?
Yep.
Where is Kanye West from? Is it? Oh, Bean, what you got?
Yeah, Chicago.
She's right. Bean's right. The options would have been LA, Arkansas, or Chicago, and Kanye West is from Chicago, Illinois.
I like him. I do like his wife, but I don't like him.
Oh yeah. We want to put a bleeper there or something. I don't know. All right. So, all right. We kind of got a game here. We got a two-way tie. Almost. Ish. Yeah. Question number 4 is also a double bonus round. So let's spin the wheel. Daryl, aka Brad Pitt, and see what we got. I told you these aren't your average, ordinary questions. Double bonus round. Listen, 1,400 points on the board. 1,400 points on the board, and the question reads like this: which pop singer's name is Robin Fenty? Real name. Is it Robin Thicke, Robin Williams, or Rihanna?
Yeah.
Okay, Bean?
Robin Williams?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Anybody else want to chime in there? Marianne?
Rihanna?
Rihanna is correct. Rihanna's real name is Robin
Oh yeah, duh, Fenty.
Fenty. Holy smokes, Marianne is way out in front. Lauri and Trena. All hope is not lost. You know why?
I'm not good with music.
You know what? I'm feeling like a giver. I'm feeling pretty charitable right now. So this fifth and final question is the triple bonus round.
Uh-oh.
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Lauri, you look like you're on the edge of your seat here. I think she
I am.
got it in it. She's competitive. The wheel is spinning. Triple bonus round. Man, what if this ends up with a tie? Look, 900 points.
Wow.
900 points. Wow. This is anybody's game. Marianne, just to sweeten the pot and just to make sure that you don't just ease out, I'm gonna add an extra 100 points to whoever can sing this answer. Okay?
Sing?
Yeah.
You don't want me to sing.
Yeah.
Either.
Well, it's okay. So in the event that this ends up being a two-way tie and Marianne and someone else is tied, whoever can sing the answer,
Oh my
extra
God.
100 points and wins the game.
That's evil.
May not be as bad as you think. Okay, so here we go. Which pop star played 27 different instruments on their debut album?
Oh. I know this
I
one.
answered to that already.
Prince.
What? How does
Prince.
she knows the answer is right? It's Prince. Holy smokes!
Marianne.
Wow. 5,400 points.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Prince played 27
Prince is one of
instruments.
my favorites. So
Holy smokes. Okay, Lauri and Trena, nobody goes here empty-handed, so you both get 100 points for just
Thanks.
here looking pretty. Okay, so let's get those. There we go. 100 and if anybody wants to sing, I give you extra point, and now you'll have one more point. No takers? All right. So we'd like to thank you guys for joining us on the show. You know, your year supply of Lysol wipes is in the mail.
thank you.
Could use those.
Yeah, no kidding. I need them here.
Those are the consolation prizes. No, Marianne, no, you remember that big jar of Skippy that we carry around for the.
That's fine.
You get a 25-pound jar of Skippy peanut butter.
Perfect.
That we use in the Bruno Mars scene.
Yep.
I can't remember the name of the song, but you guys get it.
Thank you.
Ladies, you know what? I'm going to make sure we get your information on the screen so people know how to find you. You guys are all a testament to your craft and your industry. Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks to
for
you,
having us.
Terrell.
Thank you.
All right.
Who was busy with 3 boys of his own. They were 4 men living all together, yet they were all alone. Till the one day when the lady met this fellow, and they knew that it was much more than a hunch, that this group must somehow form a